Welcome to Map Your Mind. Travel through the world with your brain. Close your eyes and imagine a land where cherry blossoms fall like soft pink snow, where bullet trains race beneath ancient castles, and where quiet shrines whisper secrets older than time. This is Japan, a country where the future and the past walk side by side, where neon lights glow beside centuries-old wooden temples, where discipline meets imagination, where warriors once roamed and robots now rise. But Japan is not just a marvel of modernity. It is an island nation with roots buried deep in myth and memory, a volcanic archipelago born from the Pacific Ring of Fire. Japan's story begins not with a bang, but with a myth. According to legend, the gods Izanagi and Izanami stirred the sea with a jeweled spear, and from its droplets, the first island of Japan was formed. Their descendants became the Japanese people, and the divine line continues through the emperor even today. This mythology would eventually anchor one of the world's longest continuous monarchies. Archaeological evidence tells us the earliest settlers arrived over 30,000 years ago. Hunter-gatherers, artisans, and early farmers shaped what is now known as the Jomon period. They made pottery older than any found elsewhere in the world. By 300 BCE, the Yayoi people migrated from the Korean peninsula, bringing new technologies: wet rice farming, iron tools, and more advanced social organization. Tribal chieftains rose, and a loose federation began to form. By the 3rd century CE, one clan called Yamato emerged as the most powerful. From this dynasty, Japan's imperial family was born. Fast forward to the Asuka and Nara periods, and Japan begins to take shape as a nation. Buddhism arrived from China and Korea, changing art, architecture, and philosophy forever. With it came Confucian ideals, systems of governance, and writing. Suddenly, Japan had scrolls, poetry, and court rituals. The Heian period 79–1185 is often called Japan's golden age of classical culture. Aristocrats in Kyoto crafted a world of delicate beauty: haiku, calligraphy, and epic novels like *The Tale of Genji*, the world's first psychological novel, written by a noblewoman named Murasaki Shikibu. But while the court lived in elegance, unrest simmered beyond the palace walls. By the 12th century, the samurai had risen warrior lords who believed in *, the way of the warrior. Their era began with the Kamakura shogunate, a military government led not by emperors, but by shoguns. Japan entered the age of feudalism. Power fragmented among warring daimyos, and the country was torn by internal conflict for centuries. But out of chaos rose figures like Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa Ieyasu, 3 unifiers who stitched the nation back together. Tokugawa Ieyasu founded the Tokugawa shogunate in 1603, bringing peace that would last over 150 years. Under his rule, Japan closed its doors to the world. For more than 2 centuries, the country lived in self-imposed isolation. No foreign trade, no Christian missionaries. Only Dutch merchants on a small man-made island in Nagasaki were allowed to stay. During this isolation, Japan perfected the arts of tea, swordsmithing, kabuki theater, and woodblock printing. It cultivated a society that prized harmony, order, and aesthetic beauty. But when American ships arrived in 1853 under Commodore Perry, demanding Japan open its ports, everything changed. Japan's leaders realized they had fallen behind. Rather than resist, they reformed. The Meiji Restoration of 1868 saw the emperor restored to power, the feudal system dismantled, and a feverish race to modernize. Railroads, factories, and schools sprang up overnight. In just decades, Japan transformed from an isolated feudal state to an industrial empire. By the early 20th century, Japan was asserting itself on the global stage. It defeated Russia in the Russo-Japanese War the first time. An Asian power had beaten a European one in modern warfare. Then came World War II. At first, Japan expanded rapidly, seizing territories across East and Southeast Asia. But as the war turned, tragedy followed. In 1945, after years of brutal conflict, the United States dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Cities vanished in fire. Over 200,000 people died. Japan surrendered. Its empire crumbled, and its soul was shattered. But even in ruin, Japan rebuilt. In the post-war years, it emerged like a phoenix. With US support and a drive for innovation, Japan entered an era of rapid economic growth. By the 1980s, it became the 2nd largest economy in the world. Sony, Toyota, Nintendo, these brands became global icons. Culturally, Japan exploded. Manga and anime conquered the imaginations of millions. Cuisine like sushi, ramen, and tempura became staples across continents. Technology, precision, and artistry fused into the modern Japanese identity. Yet Japan is more than cities and corporations. It is the soul of a tea ceremony, the quiet crunch of snow at a mountain shrine, the resilience of a people who know how to begin again. From the quiet traditions of Kyoto to the electric dreams of Tokyo, Japan is a symphony of contrast. It is ancient yet young, serene yet buzzing, humble yet bold. And through all the change, the cherry blossoms still bloom, reminding the world that beauty is fleeting, but always worth chasing. Fun fact, Japan is home to more than 6,800 islands, but only about 430 are inhabited. The main islands Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Shikoku hold the vast majority of the population. Yet hundreds of smaller islands hide untouched nature, wild monkeys, coral reefs, and quiet fishing villages frozen in time. So next time someone says Japan, don't just think of samurai and sushi. Think of a people who have walked through fire, reinvented themselves, and never lost touch with the poetry of life. From Mount Fuji to Shibuya Crossing, from ancient scrolls to virtual worlds, this is Japan. And its story is still unfolding. Where will your mind travel next?